It's May 4th, 1886, 10:30 p.m., Haymarket Square in Chicago. 3,000 workers packed into the square, police on one side, labor organizers on the other. They've been fighting for months, demanding something that today sounds almost quaint: an 8-hour workday. Most of these workers were pulling 14, 16-hour shifts, 6 days a week. In factories where losing a finger or losing your life was just part of the job. They wanted 8 hours for work, 8 hours for rest, 8 hours for their own damn lives. Then someone threw a bomb. 7 people died that night. 4 labor organizers were later hanged. Probably innocent, but that didn't matter. The establishment wanted to send a message. That was just one night in a fight that lasted 60 years. People died for your 40-hour work week. And 140 years later, we're working the same hours, even though we have proved that shorter weeks makes us more productive. The fight for the 8-hour day started in 1817. Robert Owen, a Welsh factory owner, proposed this radical idea: 8 hours labor, 8 hours recreation, 8 hours rest. At the time, this was insane. The standard workday was sunrise to sunset, 12 to 16 hours. For the next 70 years, workers kept fighting, striking, organizing, and dying. 1835, Philadelphia workers strike for a 10-hour day, and they win. 1866, National Labor Union forms. Their demand? 8 hours. In 1884, the Federation of Organized Trades declares May 1st, 1886, so 2 years later, will be the day that the 8-hour workday begins. They didn't ask, they declared. May 1st, 1886, 300,000 workers across the U.S. go on strike. Chicago becomes the center. May 3rd, police open fire on striking workers at the McCormick Reaper Works. 4 people die. May 4th, labor organizers call a meeting at the Haymarket Square to protest the killings. That's when the bomb goes off. Someone, and we still don't know who, throws a dynamite bomb into the police ranks. 7 officers die, 4 workers killed. The press calls it a terrorist attack, blames anarchists, stokes fear on immigrant radicals destroying America. Sounds familiar? 8 men arrested, not because they threw the bomb, because they were labor organizers, socialists, immigrants. The trial is a joke. The prosecution admits they don't know who threw the bomb. 4 men are hanged: Albert Parsons, August Spies, Adolph Fisher, and George Engel. Years later, the governor of Illinois pardons the survivors, calls it a miscarriage of justice. But here's what the establishment didn't count on. The rest of the world makes May 1st International Workers' Day in honor of Haymarket. Every country except the US celebrates it. It's 1926, 40 years after Haymarket, and Henry Ford announces Ford Motor Company will adopt a 40-hour, 5-day work week. The press hails him as a visionary, a humanitarian. Here's what they don't tell you. Ford didn't do this to be nice. His workers were actually miserable. Turnover was insane. The assembly line was so brutal, people just quit. Turnover rate at Ford in 1913 was 370%. So for every 100 jobs, Ford had to hire 370 people per year. In 1914, Ford raises wages to $5 a day, double the standard, not because he was generous, because of desperation. And here's the real reason he adopted the 4-hour week. If workers have more free time, then they buy more stuff. Literally. Ford said people who have more leisure time need more clothing, they eat a greater variety of food, they need more transportation. So he literally just wanted to sell cars. Ford didn't invent the 4-hour week. He co-opted a 60-year labor movement because it was good for business. Workers had been fighting and dying for this since before the Civil War. Ford, he just took credit. Then the Great Depression hits. FDR becomes president, and then in 1938, Congress passes the Fair Labor Standards Act. Federal minimum wage, overtime pay, child labor protections, and the 40-hour work week as a law. After 120 years of fighting, the 8-hour day is official. And that's where the story stops. Literally. We've been working 40 hours a week for 88 years. Through computers, through the internet, through smartphones, through AI, the world has completely transformed. But we're still on a schedule designed for factory workers in 1926. And here's the thing, we're not factory workers, obviously. Most of us do knowledge work. So creative work, strategic work, and study after study after study shows working more hours doesn't make us more productive. Microsoft Japan tested a 4-day work week in 2019. Productivity went up by 40%. Iceland ran trials with 2,500 workers. Shorter hours, same pay, productivity stayed the same or even increased. Workers were genuinely happier. Sweden, New Zealand, Spain, the UK, every trial shows the exact same thing. Shorter work weeks work. So why are we still doing 40? Because we decided in 1938 that 40 was normal. And once you set a standard, it is almost impossible to move it. And also, capitalism loves the 40-hour work week because if 40 is normal, then 50 is ambitious, and 60, you're crushing it. You're not burnt out, you're just not hustling hard enough. Meanwhile, the people who fought for the 8 hours, they would be furious. They didn't fight for 8 hours so we could work 50 and feel guilty about it. They fought so we could have lives. The 40-hour work week wasn't handed down from the gods. It wasn't designed by efficiency experts. It wasn't based on how humans actually work best. It was won through 60 years of labor struggle. People were beaten, arrested, killed. Then a capitalist co-opted it to sell more cars. Then the government made law, and now we treat it like it's inevitable. But we have decades of evidence showing shorter work weeks makes us healthier, happier, and more productive. The only reason we're still working 40 hours is because we haven't fought to change it. Albert Parsons, August Spies, Adolf Fischer, George Engel, they fought for 8 hours because they believed workers deserved to be human beings, not just labor units. Maybe, just maybe, it's time we finish what they started.